Welcome back, everybody. This is part 2 of my video series, How to Win with Kotal. In the last one, I talked about Oki and, retaining your turn. And in this one, I'm going to talk about how to, deal with your attacks, like being blocked, like what to do if your string is blocked, what are your options, basically to, again, cheat the system and retain your turn. That's constantly the goal, is like keeping your turn. So last time I showcased Geras and, his incredible Oki options when he finishes his combos or throws. And now I've got Liu Kang on screen. Liu Kang, obviously, many would say best character in the game. Will that continue to be the case after the nerfs of the forward 4? We'll see. But, one of the reasons why Liu Kang is regarded to be so incredibly good is that, when he is attacking you, it stays his turn. So, he can do forward 4, it's 2 hits, and, after that, it's very easy for the opponent to, just stop right there and then, like, throw you. Or, forward 4-3, and then you're like, okay, what's going to happen after that? Is he going to do forward 4-3 into low fireball, forward into high fireballs, and amplify to keep it safe, only -4. Almost nobody uses parry, but that is an option that you can do, which leads to huge damage, or is, you're going to finish it, get his plus frames, and then just do, forward 4 again, right? So that's the thing that can be really frustrating about fighting Liu Kang, which is, what am I supposed to do in order to deal with this continued pressure? And obviously, you can have good reads and it's possible to get out of and everything, but that's what's frustrating, is that, like, even on block, even though Liu Kang has not hit you, he gets to keep his turn, like, over and over, unless you figure out a way to escape. So I started to, wonder, just as I did with, like, Geras, when I'm comboing someone or when I'm throwing someone, how can I retain my turn? I started wondering, how could I retain my turn with Kotal? So when you're attacking with Kotal, you're normally going to be using your forward 2 string. Like, that's, what I already showed the Oki video. That's going to be your strike part of your strike slam totem mix-up. So the question is, what options do you have off of this? Well, just a forward 2, as you can see, is -7, which actually, is pretty terrible. But if you do forward 2-4, it's also -7. So, this is not something you can stagger, all right? This is not like, the first attack of Shao Kahn's forward advancing string where he's barely negative and you can actually use it as a statter. Not the case here. So staggering is not what you will be doing. Now, obviously, Kotal does have a final attack in that, a low, which at this point in the game, everybody knows, which is -14, hugely punishable, and you're going to eat a combo. So, that's something you're almost, I say almost there, never going to want to do. So the question is, okay, you do forward 2-4, you visually hit confirm that, they blocked. Now what, right? You're screwed. You're -7. It's their turn. You just gotta wait. You just gotta, eat whatever they're gonna do, right? But maybe not. Maybe we've got some ways to steal it. Now, what you'll see a lot of people doing, which is pretty YOLO, is of course the attack in a slam, right? And the reason that's YOLO is, it's got a 41 frame startup. Unless you're maybe, fighting someone that's got some jitters, or is a very new player, it's not going to work. Now, don't get me wrong, in tense situations like last game, last round, I've definitely hit people with that sort of thing before, even at, higher levels of gameplay, because, they're thinking, they're waiting for you to do something else, and, they register it too late because they're stressed, right? So, it's got its place. But honestly, if you're trying to do that to, like, close out a match or something, it's better to do the forward 2 into slam, because they're going to be waiting for the other hit of that string. And shout outs to the Test Your Might forums for, that little gem, which does work. Again, not guaranteed by any stretch. And also, you really can't hit, actually, oh my goodness. Oh, wait. I mean, you'd have to be pretty godlike to decide. I don't know. So as I said, forward 2 is kind of amazing because you can hit confirm it. It's similar to Shao Kahn's forward 3. It's hard to hit confirm it. You can hit confirm Shao Kahn's forward 3 into a shoulder to see if you're hitting with your mid into a combo. And Kotal Kahn has this to a degree with his forward 2. So actually, you might be able to confirm if I'm doing this pretty late. Okay, so actually you could. So, boom, there you go. Forward 2, you could do forward 2 in a slam. Now, that's crazy, it's risky, it's not something I recommend that you do all the time or anything like that. And obviously, frames canceling are different if you're hitting the opponent versus canceling into something. But the point here is that slam as an option is not what you are normally going to do. Slam, for the most part, is not going to be a super viable option for you. So then it comes down to, you know, well, what options do you have? Well, one option is to go into cat. Now, the beauty of the new Amplified cat, and this is one of the reasons why I think, you know, he's viable, Totemic is it's only -8. This means that there is characters in this game that cannot fully punish this, meaning characters can down 1 you and get frame advantage, all right? But people are normally greedy. They want more. They want to do a combo, you know? And so they can't. At least certain characters can't, who have, you know, 7 frame standing ones are, you know, going to have difficulty with this. 7 frame standing ones will be able to combo you. If someone has an 8 frame standing one or a 9 frame standing one, they will not. And I will put in the description here which characters have which, in case you're curious. So if someone has a 7 frame standing one, they can do a full combo punish against you if they have a block cat. If they have 8 frames or higher, they can't. Some examples of characters with 8 frames or higher would be Cetrion, would be Sub-Zero, would be, you know, Shang Tsung, Kotal, Shao Kahn, Jax. These characters cannot full combo punish you after a block cat. So what that means is, you know, you can be doing this into this, and now they've got to respect that. And if it hits, boom, you just started your whole Oki game with that cat hitting, and you're getting more corner carry. So that can give them pause, because now you can actually do something that is, you know, relatively safe. Yes, again, all these characters can down 1 you into frame advantage, sure, but I mean, all you're eating is a down 1 for your trouble, and then, yeah, you lose your turn, which you were going to lose anyway if you hadn't done anything. But what this is going to make people do is start to block a little bit longer than they would, because now they're waiting to see, are you going to do cat? Now, you might say, well, Jeff, you know, what about all the characters that can punish me? Don't worry, we'll get into that. We'll talk about that in a second. But imagine for these characters that can't full combo punish you, that now they're having to wait. They're worried. They're wondering, are you going to do this Amplified cat? And yeah, you're spending a bar to, you know, potentially get your turn back. But if you do get your turn back, it's well worth it. So the idea here is what you can do after this, you know, conditioning where the opponent's now waiting a little bit longer. Now this opens up more options for you. One option, which I only recently learned from playing a really strong Kotal player and a number of matches, is to do the hop attack afterwards. So, of course, what people are thinking you might be doing is, like, maybe you would do that, or maybe you would do cat. So they're just going to crouch block, you know, cover their bases, right? So you do this into the hop attack for kicks, right? And hop attack for kicks is just a little faster. Now, I know you might be thinking, Jeff, you know, you're -7 after your 2 attacks, like, and then you got to hop, and then the button's got to come out. Like, who's going to wait that long? Well, again, it's conditioning. If they get used to waiting some, then you've got this potential to hit them with this move. And as I showed, if you do this version, that version starts up a little bit slower, but it gives you a meaty slam afterward, which can be worthwhile. So it is possible to do, you know, this into this. And of course there's other options of doing this, you know, into this, into like a throw, this, you know, into the hop, into forward back throw, you know, into a button, into, you know, a down 1 if you're trying to couch their down 1. All you're looking to do is trying to get them to pause a little bit, to question what is going to happen next. Now, I realize you might be thinking, Jeff, you're telling me, you know, my options to make me like Liu Kang is I can do a -8 cat that I have to spend a bar on that works against like a third of the cast, or I can hope that they wait long enough for me to then do a hop attack into an overhead, which if they block is negative and punishable, right? Like, dude, that sucks, okay? True. We're not done yet, though, okay? Because all Kotals have parry. Now, parry is fascinating, and there's so much to say about parry. If you want to know more about parry, check out my parry video, as well as the links in the description, because there is another YouTuber who's doing, you know, incredible work about, you know, finding all the amazing parry tech that there is. But the big news here is that if the opponent tries to do something to you right away, you're going to parry it. Right? Like you will stop them, and then it is your turn. So if they do like a down 1, a down 3, if they go for a grab, a down 2, whatever it is your turn. Now, if they start a string, depending on the string, then you could lose your turn. But a little known fact, is that if they start a string and you're holding block at the same time you are holding the parry, you will parry their next attack. Whereas if you like wait to see the parry absorb their hit and then you press block, you might get hit. Now there are a couple strings out there that are so fast, for example, Liu Kang's forward 4, that you can't block it. You will get hit by the second attack and parry does not recover in time. But against the vast majority of things that any opponent is going to do, you will either get your return back right away or you will be able to block their attack. And if you become godlike at like higher levels, you can then flawless block after you've parried into big damage because you've got the damage boost of the parry. So the point here is if you think they're going to press a button right away, parry. If you don't want to spend any meter, okay? They do any sort of down poke, anything like that, it is now immediately your turn. They do a string, you can block it, or even flawless block if you're amazing at this game, which is what I'm working up to do. So the key with this is layers, all right? If you have just one thing you're going to do, the opponent's going to figure it out, right? And it's not going to work. But if the opponent is thinking, okay, maybe he'll do amplified cat, maybe he'll stop and then do an attack, whether it's an overhead, a throw, whatever. Maybe he'll do parry and then get the turn back. Now the opponent has to guess. Now the opponent is wondering. And please do realize if they go for like a grab, oh my goodness, the damage that you will get after this is like insane, okay? So if they go for, you know, a grab, you can do like forward 1 into a full punish. You can do, you know, like a down 2. So like if they're trying to like throw you afterwards, parry blows that up. Same with their down 2, you get a full combo punish. So this parry can give you like big damage. Now, it's obviously a little scary to be like right in their face going like, please do something. And obviously if they don't, then you are vulnerable when your parry ends. But the nice thing is, you know, you can do it. They don't press anything, just let it go. And usually, you know, they're kind of waiting for maybe at the end. And again, if their reactions are godlike, they could hit you, all right? I'm not saying that you will become Liu Kang with this. But keep in mind that Liu Kang's options are largely unsafe. His parry is unsafe. His down fireball is unsafe, all right? There is a gap between, you know, his plus frame kick at the end. So he's unsafe on his, you know, his decisions. But he's got so many, it's hard to know which one he's going to do. Don't get me wrong, his forward 4 stagger is, you know, godlike and he's not unsafe on that. But the point here is that you have options for what you can do. Now it gets even better. That's right, I'm not done yet. So what a lot of opponents are going to do is they're going to crouch block because, you know, they're waiting. I don't know why I'm on this. They're waiting for the potential of the low, right? They've seen the low so many times. They're like, okay, you know, the low's coming, right? So the cool thing with the cat is that if the opponent is crouch blocking the entire time, maybe I need to set the opponent to crouch block. Also, Kotal is very large, so it doesn't potentially work on him. But here, we'll just do this. What's going on real quick? Okay, so the cat, yeah, against a big character, it's not going to go over him, right? But that's okay, because against a big character, you're fine. Against, you know, this character, you're okay. Against, for example, you know, like Shao Kahn, you're fine. So any sort of like big character, usually where cat would get stuck on them, you're okay. But if you're fighting a different character, so let's say you're fighting Jacqui, for instance, all right? Now Jacqui has a fast enough attack that she could full combo punish you after you do a block cat, right? But if she is low blocking, as again they are normally going to do, and then you do cat, well again, I don't know why the computer stands when they're doing all block, but that's fine. We'll just record. So the opponent is crouch blocking, that's sort of the standard, you know, way to block. So the opponent's crouch blocking, you do cat, you sail right over them, okay? You just got away. This is one of the reasons that I love Totemic so much is the mobility that Totemic has. Primarily with, you know, the air cat being able to like get out of stuff, get out of the corner. It's incredible. I love it deeply. But that's a conversation for another video. Mainly what I want to show you right here is you have the ability to hit and run against most of the cast. All right. So what they're going to do is, again, they're going to be crouch blocking, waiting for that low, and you're just going to go over them. Notice that time I did unamplified cat. So if you think the opponent is going to duck, if they're going to stay ducking and not stand, you can do meterless cat. We're now back in neutral. Now, can characters punish the cat as you're running away? Sure, of course. You know, if you're fighting Scorpion, you know, he can teleport and get you. Some characters' teleports, though, will put them right into the cat and get hit by the cat, which is sort of amazing. So, like, you know, if Cetrion teleports or something, you know, Skarlet, Raiden, Kollector, and they don't go behind you, they'll go in front of you and get hit by the cat. So certain characters can punish this, like a Scorpion teleport. Sub-Zero could, shoot an ice ball at you, freeze you, come up, punish you, and other characters could just throw a projectile. But certain characters like Jacqui, there is nothing she can do if you are mid-screen. It's just now back to neutral, and that is amazing. So you're at this range, you do this, you're like, nope, I'm out, and now we're back in neutral for me to go. Now, once they do start standing, guess what? We now actually have a use for that. And it actually worked out beautifully that they stood up right then to get hit by it. So you could actually hit with the low because you have something that's going to make them want to stand. So what's really kind of amazing about this, and again, I'm not saying it's as good as other characters, but it's something that I don't see many other Kotals at all, but it is something that any Kotal could start to work into their game plan, into creating more of an onion, more of a mix of things that they can do when their attacks are blocked. And one of my favorites is absolutely getting away. And like I said, most of the characters that are large, if you amplify the cat, you're going to be safe. Well, I mean, again, they can down one, but you're not going to get comboed or anything. And the characters that you would be unsafe against, you sail right over. I want to say the only exception to this is Nightwolf, because Nightwolf doesn't seem like he'd be that big, but I've definitely have Nightwolf catch the cat, and the cat does not go over. But the vast majority of the cast, the cat just sails right over, so you get to escape if you're mid-screen and the opponent doesn't have something that would, make it not worthwhile for you to escape in that regard. So, in summary, what we've just gone over is that you're going to be using forward 2 a lot, right? When you're using forward 2 and you see the opponent blocks, if you want to go YOLO, you can work in some slams, all right? And please note, we're back to slam now because it's not YOLO once the opponent's thinking about all these other things, okay? Once the opponent is thinking, okay, is he going to amplify cat and maybe hit me, right? Is he going to do cat to jump over me, so I need to stand? Is he going to do the low to counter the fact that I'm now standing? Is he going to do parry to get his turn back if I do a poke or a throw? Even will I get big punished if he does the parry and I do a throw? Is he just going to stagger it and stop and then do like a hop attack overhead while I'm blocking low? Is he going to stop and throw or poke? The opponent now needs to be thinking about all these things, and notice they'd normally be thinking about them after this hit. They'd be thinking about, like, what is, Kotal going to do after that? So that's where sneaking in something like this, and again, I totally hit confirm that as a block right there. Man, you have a long cancel advantage on that. That's incredible. Then you can sneak in something like that. Is guaranteed? No, not at all. But now they're thinking about that too. They're like, wait, is Kotal going to slam? So you actually have lots of options that you can do. And the cool thing is that, other versions of Kotal have these options to a degree. If you're playing Ascension, you can be going for the uppercut. And the nice thing about the uppercut is that if you hit, you get a combo. So that is nice. Right now, you're full combo punishable if it's blocked, right? And in the new variation of Kotal, you can do sword. Sword is -17. I don't know why, but people do struggle to punish it. But obviously, that's very, very negative. So you don't have the same sort of quasi-safe cat. And the reason I say quasi-safe is even the characters that punish it, they have to be frame perfect, because there's a frame where they leave block, and again, the fastest standing one is 7 frames. You're -8, so they have to be frame perfect to get that hit. And again, in the heat of the moment, they can miss it, right? And now they're doing a string, which will likely end, and then it will be your turn again. So you're not even guaranteed to get punished every time. Now, obviously, offline, people can be crisper, can be cleaner. You're going to get away with this more, online than you would offline. So you shouldn't just assume, oh yeah, I can just throw a cat all day against a character that can punish it like Frost or something and do a huge combo. That would be suicide, all right? But if you work in the amplified cat some, then the opponent needs to respect that you could end in an attack, and they either won't be able to full combo punish it, or it will be hard potentially for them to full combo punish it. So the idea here is your options are cat, either to hit them or to get away if you start crouch blocking. Parry, if you think they're going to attack right away. If you think they're going to wait a little bit, actually doing a quasi-stagger and going to hop overhead and then going to slam if you do the overhead 2, which will give you enough frame advantage for that. We also have the low if you think they're going to start standing to stop the cat. And you have the slam you can work in and even visually hit confirm to a degree right there. Visual hit confirm on the block. So that gives you, a decent number of options that you can use when you are close to the opponent, like this. I hope this has been useful. I hope this has been helpful and made you realize that you actually, have more you can potentially do on block. If there's anything else that's on your mind, let me know. But I hope these 2 videos about how to win with Kotal, talking about Oki, when you are hitting the opponent or throwing the opponent and what your options are there, your onion there, and then also talking about your options, your onion, when the opponent blocks that forward 2, which you're going to be using all the time, really helps you add some layers to your gameplay. And I'll be honest with you, if this is feeling overwhelming, feeling like too much, even if you have 2 things you do that you switch between, or even better, 3 things you do, that is enough to keep the opponent guessing. If you can just have 2 or 3 options that you rotate between and it keeps the opponent wondering which you're going to do, you can steal that turn back and keep the momentum. Good luck to all you Kotals out there. Hope you enjoyed. Talk more next.